season long with those 0. Brandon Aubrey set to kick it away. Remember, this is the new NFL dynamic kickoff. Your teammates are at the 40. Nobody can move until the ball lands in the landing zone or someone touches it. It's caught by Alexander Madison, and here he comes out to the 25. And he's tripped up right there, which is
third week of the preseason, knowing who that starter is, be able to increase the reps, get him
healthy. Is playing tonight for the Raiders.
And the Cowboys are not playing their starters.
And she's going to pass. Found his second option. It was Michael Mayer over the middle. They'll pick up 4 yards. Wrapped up by a host of Cowboys led by Willie. He's got Zamir White in the backfield. Jacoby Myers and DJ Turner both at the bottom of the screen. White gets the handoff. Nice hole through the left side. Zamir White out to the 46-yard line. Into the Cowboys secondary, brought down by Marquise Bell. That's a pickup of 17 on the ground.
A really nice job up front with this with this move.
Surgery yet. They're saying he's close, but you've got 2 veterans on that left side. Andrus Peat in his 10th year out of Stanford, along with Cody Whitehair starting at left guard, who came over from Chicago in his 9th year. Fresh set of downs for Minshew, looking for the deep ball. He's got Myers, and he's hit right when the ball got there at the 35-yard line. Wanye Thomas, the 2nd year out of Georgia Tech, made the stick right at the perfect time.
Well, he's going to look at this one and said, you know what, I should have thrown the deep ball. He's got a chance. You just throw the crosser. And that backside corner and safety drive on it, but he had a chance to miss it.
Well, in this Cowboys secondary last week against the Rams, picked off Stetson Bennett 4 times. So it is an opportunistic defense. Last year, again, these aren't their starters, but they had 26 takeaways last year. And 2 quick throw out to Myers, and it's over his shoulder into the flat, so it'll be 3rd and long. Rich, your scouting report on Gardner Minshew.
Well, let's take a look at Gardner Minshew. We talked a little bit about where he struggles a little bit is functioning from the pocket. And I think that's the big challenge for him, is to be able to be really productive and efficient throwing from the well.
And he was great last week on 3rd down. The Raiders converted 5 of their first 6 third downs. He has not started strong tonight, 1 of 3. Quick throw, Trey Tucker has some space, but a couple of Cowboys meet him at the 47-yard line. They're about 3 yards shy. Richard, break down what you saw last preseason. They're trying to figure out who's going to be the starter. 4th and 3 on the Cowboys 47. They're going for it. Unless they're for the hard count. Down to 3 on the play clock. They are going for it. Minshew settles. Bad throw. Should have been picked off by Willie Harvey. And the Raiders turn it over on downs.
I meant to say Trey Turner. That right there is just not seeing the flat defender. You've got
to. Gardner Minshew will have another chance, but the first drive didn't go that well.
Couple missed opportunities there when he looked back on it, for sure.
Cooper Rush gets the start for the Cowboys. It's a run up the middle with Malik Davis. And the ground game was certainly an emphasis this week in practice, Rich. They were not happy how the defense played against the Vikings rushing attack.
No, it gave up too many big runs, and this will be a good test for them. Even though the Cowboys aren't playing their starters up front, this is a big physical offensive line. They come off and they get a lot of double teams at the point of attack. This will be a good challenge for this Raiders front 7.
Yeah, as much of a focal point as the quarterback competition has been, there was a lot of emphasis on the struggles. Cooper Rush with the QB sneak and a first down, which they gave up over 120 yards on the ground in the first half last week to Minnesota.
Yeah, just some missed assignments, some guys not playing and with the right fits, not getting off at blocks. And that's, it's just getting it cleaned up and coming back tonight, having a cleaner performance defensively.
John Jenkins, Christian Wilkins, 2 big men in the middle of that defensive line. Wilkins, the big free agent signing from Miami. Rush going to put it in the air. Raiders came with a blitz, and it's broken up. Jack Jones with a great break on the ball on Jalen Brooks and knocked it out of his hands.
Just watch Jack Jones use that right arm. He just punches. He gets a hold of the receiver with the left arm. But watch the right hand. Watch him punch. It's really a nice job there by Jones.
You know, we talked to Jacoby Myers yesterday, the offensive side of the ball, but he was in New England when Jack Jones was a rookie. And he said he was afraid of him then, and everybody knows when he's near the ball, he thinks it's his every time. Hunter Lipke is the fullback in for the Cowboys. They run it with Davis again, and guess who? Max Crosby fought through the stiff arm, and Nate Hobbs cleaned it up.
Well, he just makes the tight end miss. I mean, you're just asking for trouble. You put a tight end to try and block. You see him at the top of the screen. He just makes some, just does the swim, move the arm over, and he's in the backfield. It's in football.
3rd and 10. Raiders bring just 4. Rush had a clean pocket. Jack Jones batted it out of the air. It's caught, but Robert Spillane was right there to make sure that did not get near the markers. Jalen Tolbert caught it off the deflection. They did pick up 6.
When you throw the ball in his direction, he does a great job driving on the ball. Very aggressive corner. He's going to take.
That could have been 2 interceptions in back-to-back weeks for Jack Jones. Instead, it allows the Cowboys to bring on Brandon Aubrey. Last year, a rookie Pro Bowler, 36 of 38. He had his first 35 field goals to start his career, and a Dallas record 157 points. This is a 54-yarder, and it is good. So one of the best in the game puts the Cowboys on the board. Antonio Pierce's defense gave up 1 big play and came up with a nice. And mental wellness is vital to our overall health. It takes courage to admit when we're not okay, and even more to reach out. If you or someone you know is struggling or in crisis, call or text 988 or visit strongestplay.com for mental wellness resources. 3-0 here in the first quarter. Cowboys have the lead. Brandon Aubrey set to kick it away to DJ Turner and Amir Abdullah. This is a shorter kickoff that Turner's going to let bounce out of bounds.
Big mistake.
Yeah. So that, like it has in past years, will come out to the 40-yard line of many things.
Bounds. Kicking team number 17. By rule, the ball is placed at the 40-yard line. First down.
Great starting field position for Gardner Minshew and this offense on the second drive. Gotta clean up some of the mistakes, Jason. We were talking a little bit about it. Just, some footwork issues, just missing some throws. Game going a little bit fast for him in that first series. Got to settle in as a quarterback. You got to get your team off to a good start. It's all about trusting the protection, staying in rhythm, and making good decisions.
He pumps. He takes a deep shot. Tucker is open, and he had to wait for it, but he came down with it. He saw him. If he kept him to the corner, he might have scored, but instead it's a deep ball to Tucker again.
Really nice job off the play action, and I thought he might throw the crossing route, but we saw what happened on the first series. This is a really good job by Minshew, giving him some space, using the field.
Yeah, Trey Tucker last week had a 44-yard grab. That one goes for 48. A handoff to White with the cutback, and he's wrapped up in the backfield and brought down. Maris Leofow, the rookie, the 3rd-round pick out of Notre Dame, with the tackle for the Cowboys.
And regardless of who plays quarterback for the Raiders, the running game is going to be absolutely critical, and especially when you get down this field. We're talking to defensive coordinator Patrick Graham about this. He said, look, the good red zone teams have the ability to run the ball in this part of the field. Something that was a bit of a problem for the Raider offense a season ago. They've got to be more efficient down in the scoring zone.
And again, no Devontae Adams tonight, no Brock Bowers tonight. But Gardner Minshew, can he put this one in? He's trying to throw it, and he's out of the pocket, being chased. And it's too far in front of Tucker. Big time pressure from behind. Marshawn Nealon, 2nd-round pick out of Western Michigan, had the pressure, and it'll be 3rd down and 9 for Minshew.
It's a good decision there by Gardner Minshew, trying to throw the post route. The safety doesn't bite. It's not there. Away.
Gardner Minshew last week led 3 scoring drives. He had touchdowns on each of his first 2. He started the game tonight. They stalled to a 4th down near midfield. Empty set. Minshew pumps, throws well over the head of Jacoby Myers. And it looked like he thought it was coming to his outside shoulder. It went over his inside shoulder. And now the Raiders will kick the field goal.
They just threw it a little bit early, and those are the throws you have to make. When you get them open, you got to hit them.
So Daniel Carlson, who was 3 of 3 last week, he looked like he was in midseason form. Drilled a 56-yarder. This just from 29. One of the best of the game to try and knot up this preseason game here in Las Vegas. And a line drive is home. Tucker set it up, and Carlson knocks it through to tie it up at 3. Yeah, when they built this stadium, they certainly took care of us, the media and the broadcasters. Down here on the TV side during the regular season, up there in the David Hung broadcast booth, up on the 4th floor, but right there on the 50-yard line, it's perfect. So we saw a lot of different things on the new dynamic kickoff last week from Carlson, including booting it through the end zone. This one down to the goal line. Tyron Billy Johnson trying to break it to the outside, and he can't get past the 25. Isaiah Polamau, who has had a wonderful preseason with the special teams tackle, and that is where Cooper Rush will get his 2nd series.
And keep in mind, a lot of these players aren't necessarily playing for a starting job. They're playing to make the team, and one of the ways you make the team as a young player is your contributions in the kicking game. They're looking for players that can cover, players that can tackle and space, players that can block.
And they're looking to see who's going to be the depth in the secondary. Royce Freeman, Marcus Epps came up to make the tackle. Malcolm Kuntz in there as well. Royce Freeman, 6th year out of Oregon, been around the league. Last year with the Rams. And we were talking with the folks with the Cowboys too. Trey Lance certainly was a headline when he got traded last year, but Cooper Rush is the guy behind Dak Prescott.
Yeah, there's no question about that. We're going to see a lot of Trey Lance, but they really like Cooper Rush. Trey Lance just needs experience. Didn't play a lot of football in college at North Dakota State.
Rush settles in. Flag flies from behind. That was caught. Luke Schoonmaker. Marcus Epps said it hit the ground, but there's a flag that flew from the backfield. And the Cowboys are marching backwards.
Illegal use of hands in the face. Offense number 79. It's a 10-yard penalty. 2nd down.
I think that might have been on Max. The tackle got the hands up in the face of Max Crosby.
Yeah, Matt, well, let's go.
Top of your screen. See it right there? Let's go, but I'll tell you what, you got to hold on for dear life when you try and block 98, don't you? That's an all-day sucker.
And Max has been moving around the line much more the last couple of years. He's lined up over the left side. Rush settles in the pocket, threw it behind, and it's incomplete. Trayvon Merrick was right there with Schoonmaker. Rich, we saw Merrick all over the field in the couple series he played last week.
Y'all really like these safeties. I mean, they come down with a purpose. You know, they come down to strike you. They do a great job in run support. They're good communicators. They cover a lot of ground on the back end. I think this defense has a chance to be really, really good. The biggest question mark is the depth at the cornerback position. If you're going to play great defense, you need great pass rushers and cover corners.
They're going to run it on 3rd and forever. Royce Freeman's got Robert Spillane bringing him down at the initial line of scrimmage at the 25. And so the Cowboys will come out to punt for the first time. And again, we don't know how long we'll see the defensive starters throughout the game tonight, but Antonio Pierce has said all along, if you're healthy, you are playing this year in the preseason.
It matters. I think playing, getting some experience together. You've got some new players. Communication's so important.
Ryan Anger, the high kick that Tucker waits for. A 55-yard punt, and Tucker trying to get the edge. Flags fly everywhere. This is coming back. The Trey Tucker trying to provide some excitement. And he does take it out near midfield on a 28-yard return. But there were 3 flags thrown right in the area where he got a little bit of space.
That's too bad.
During the return, illegal block in the back. Receiving team number 92. It's a 10-yard penalty. Las Vegas keeps the ball 1st down. Timeout.
Yeah, Ellerson Smith there with the block in the back. Well, we're very happy about. And back with you inside Allegiant Stadium. Gardner Minshew got the start tonight after Aiden O'Connell started last week in Minnesota. It's his 3rd drive. And he hands it off to Alexander Madison, who cuts back over the middle and falls forward for about 4. Justin Rogers, a rookie defensive tackle, on the stop. Rich, your takeaways: 2 drives for Minshew. He's 3 of 8 for 60 yards. The big pass play to Trey Tucker went for 48 of those.
Yeah, I just think he's leaving some plays out there, right? When you go back and you look at it, you miss a throw early, you miss a 3rd down throw down in the red zone, and this is how we're being evaluated. Every play out, these coaches are looking at footwork, decision making, anticipation, accuracy.
On the rollout, nice lead. The turn, but a solid tackle. Andrew Booth, he was traded from the Vikings to the Cowboys the day before the game, and like all of us when we're thinking hard, trying to figure out what we want to do.
These are big decisions, trust me.
Who's going to quarterback the Raiders? We expect to find out after this game. 3rd down for Minshew. Michael Mayer's got the 1st down. Out to the 30. It's a pickup of 9. They'll move the chains. His most memorable play, the touchdown that ended up beating the Jets on Sunday Night Football. At the time, got the Raiders to 5-5. Minshew's got a nice pocket. Nowhere to go with the football. And it was batted down in his face. Wanye Thomas came up to knock it out of the air. It'll bring up 2nd and long. Well, initially the pocket was clean, Rich, but it changed towards the end
of a defense.
Madison stood up at the line. Again, it's the rookie, Marshawn Nealand. And Rich, they had the 17-yard Zamir White run on the opening drive, which was a great cutback. But I think you also thought maybe against the backups for the Cowboys, the offensive line might be able to get more of a push.
We talked about the importance of running the ball, especially on the early downs. And we talked about this running back room, Jason. It's been extremely competitive. Zamir White, Alexander Madison, and Miradula, Dylan Laube. Tough decisions to make there as well.
Yeah, you got a lot of playmakers in the backfield. Raiders 1 of 3 here in the opening quarter on 3rd down. Minshew to the outside. He threw it low, and Tucker went down to grab it. 1st down for the Raiders. And Rich, Trey Tucker is becoming an integral part of this offense here in the preseason.
And this is a really good throw by Gardner Minshew. Because
Trey Tucker came on at the end of last season, his rookie year out of Cincinnati. And we've got whistles that are going to stop this. And Mike McCarthy is throwing the preseason challenge flag.
Let's see if he caught that ball without his shoulder pads.
The ruling on the field was a complete pass. Dallas has challenged that ruling. Timeout.
So they will take a look at this.
I don't know if there's any question he caught it. The question is, was part of his body out of bounds?
Part of this offense, right? Devontae Adams, one of the best receivers in the game. Jacoby Myers had a great first year with everyone talking about the 2 tight ends with Michael Mayer and the rookie Brock Bowers. But Trey Tucker might be one of the keys, Rich, to this offense having the explosive play.
They've got a lot of speed on the perimeter. You think about Devontae Adams not even in uniform tonight. Trey Tucker, DJ Turner, Jacoby Myers. These guys can go get the ball. And we're talking a little bit about the tight end position, how exciting that group's going to be with Michael Mayer and Brock Bowers. I think Mayer's going to make Bowers a better player. I think Bowers is going to make Mayer a better player. Having them both on the field at the same time with the speed that you have on the edge.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. Dallas is charged with their 1st timeout and their 1st challenge.
This is where I think he's gotten a lot better. He's in and holding on the boundary.
Trey Tucker can see better this year, too.
That's a big story.
That LASIK surgery in the offseason said last year was the first time he ever dealt with drops in his career. And now, so they can see the football. Set up the screen. It's the tight end Mayer. Could not get away from the 2nd defender. So about just 1 on the screen set up to the tight end. But yeah, seeing is an important part of the game for a wide receiver.
I played with a receiver in Minnesota, Jake Reed, and we'd throw him slant routes on the left side, and he'd drop all of them. On the right side, he'd catch all of them. And one of our offensive coordinator is Tom Moore, who's still coaching in the NFL. He said, hey, look, trying to catch the ball.
Second and officially 8. Nice hole there for Madison. He finds the contact, keeps it going, and he's right near the marker. Now, a flag did come in late. It was thrown from the secondary.
Holding. Offense number 83. It's a 10-yard penalty. Second down.
That is Christian Wilkerson.
At the point of attack. Had a little bunch set. Yeah, right here. Keep those hands in. It's too bad it was a good-looking run.
Well, it was last year in Dallas, Rich, the third preseason game where Christian Wilkerson had 10 grabs for over 120 yards. And not to say that that was the be-all, end-all, but he made the initial 53-man roster after that game. And there is still a spot, right? How many of the receivers are they going to keep? DJ Turner's had a great camp. You know about Adams, Tucker, and Myers. Who will be number 4? Who will be number 5? Will they keep a 6? Certainly stories to follow these last couple of preseason games. So 2nd and 15 after the penalty. Minshew escapes the pocket. Madison has to go down to make the grab. And Butler will spot him there inbounds as we dip inside of 2 minutes here in the opening quarter.
You're going to see a lot of that with Gardner Minshew. He gets some push. He does a good job finding gaps in the pass rush, stepping up and stepping out.
We'll get to the new offensive coordinator. We got those. He talks about Mike McCarthy a lot with some of his influences, how he calls plays. 3rd and 11 here for Gardner Minshew, who's hit 5 of his last 6 passes. Out of the pocket, eyes downfield. Points, throws, incomplete. He put that into a danger zone, and it was knocked out of there by Israel Mukwamu.
That was a risky decision by Gardner Minshew, but I don't like this decision. Just throwing this one down. This is like a Hail Mary throw. That could have been easily intercepted.
So A.J. Cole, who averaged 52 yards a boot last week, with a 50-yard punt and a solid return. Jalen Cropper brings it out to the 30, but there is a flag down back at the 14-yard line. Fritz Smith, who was pretty good in special teams last year on the tackle.
During the return, holding, receiving team number 29. It's half the distance to the goal line. First down, Cowboys.
And Trey Lance comes out for Dallas here towards the end of the first quarter. Cooper Rush got the first couple of drives. He was 1 of 3 for 6 yards, but Rich, last week Trey Lance played pretty much the whole game against the Rams, and he threw the ball 41 times last week.
I talked to Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy before the game, and they're excited about this young player. Didn't play a lot of high school football, only played the 1 season in North Dakota State. Got hurt his rookie year with the 49ers. They feel he's got a chance to be a player, but he needs reps, he needs experience, and that's why you saw him throw the ball a bunch last week. I think we're going to see him put it up a lot here tonight as well. Good opportunity against this #1 defense.
He's backed up inside the 10 after the penalty. Deuce Vaughn the handoff. He squirts through the middle, and he's out to the 15-yard line with Tyree Wilson. Check out Divine Diablo making the stop.
This is a good test tonight for the Raiders. You know, you look at this Cowboys team, they've won at least 12 games in each of the last 3 seasons. Unfortunately, they get blown out at home by the Packers in the playoffs, left a kind of a bad taste in their mouth. It's a team that's done well in the regular season, but has struggled in the postseason.
Back to Vaughn. He scampers through the defense. And Deuce Vaughn out to the 27, so they were backed up to the 9. But on back-to-back runs, Vaughn gains 18, which may bring us to the end of the first quarter.
Yeah, watch the safety insert. He's going to get double-teamed at the point of attack. And watch the back. He's going to wind this one all the way back. But you got
end of the first quarter, the Raiders.
And accuracy and his consistency. Didn't miss a single extra point last season for the Raiders. Had some game winners, and Does a great job with his kickoffs as well. Back in the old days with the kickoffs where he kicked everything out of the end zone, or he had great hang time. Now I think the strategy is really going to change with the new kickoff rule. I think these kickers are going to try and position the ball down around the goal.
Start of the second quarter, Trey Lance, the Cowboys had a couple of nice runs. He's taking a deep shot, working against Jaguars Bennett, who is in fantastic position. Adam Butler had the pressure on Trey Lance, but a nice job by the second-year corner out of Maryland.
And if you're going to pressure, you better have some corners that can hold up outside. You're going to see the blitz up inside. Great coverage down here at the bottom of the screen. These cornerbacks have worked all week. They have great done by Bennett.
Lance keeps it. Crosby hops over Jack Jones, and Trey Lance got around the Condor out to the 34, so he picked up 6 or 7. But you just brought up a point about your hands, right? They have so much faith in Jack Jones and Jaguars Bennett on the outside with their speed. Try and make sure, don't touch the guys with your hands.
Yeah, don't panic. You know, I think part of it is eye discipline, Jason. I think trusting your speed, not panicking, doing a good job locating the ball in the air. It works so much on technique and fundamentals on the perimeter.
They gave Lance 8 officially on that run, so it's 3rd and 2.
Comes the blitz.
They come with the blitz. He throws it high, and Jones with another breakup. He broke on the ball quickly, got right on the rookie Ryan Flournoy, and he's got his 3rd pass defended in the first half.
This guy's a handful. I mean, I love him. He plays with a chip on his shoulder. He's not afraid to show up and run support. But he's a very aggressive corner. Watch him drive. He almost runs the route for the... He is a confident corner. That's what the Raiders need. They need more like Jack Jones.
Ray Tucker waiting for it, but he catches it with his left foot out of bounds. I don't know why the whistle didn't blow. Now it does. Ray Tucker knew that his left foot was out of bounds.
He didn't move. He was waiting on the official to blow the whistle.
A 50-yard punt. And
right there.
Well, Gardner Minshew started tonight. 8 of 15. And he is still in the ball game here to start the second quarter. So the 4th drive for Gardner Minshew. We will see Aiden O'Connell at some point, we expect, in the first half. He throws it nicely out to the tight end, Harrison Bryant. Throws it nicely out to the tight end, Harrison Bryant. He picks up 7 out to the 20-yard line. From the Cleveland Browns in his 5th year out of Florida Atlantic.
It's a good chance this is the last drive of the night for Gardner Minshew. He's got to make this one count. I think it's been a mixed bag, Jason, so far here in the first half. He's done some good things. He's missed some throws. Has slammed the door in this competition if you want to win it.
Well, that's what the Raiders have been looking for. They've been looking for someone to do just that all preseason. Minshew taking a deep shot for Tucker. And he turned inside. The ball was thrown outside. It'll be 3rd down again.
I think Tucker could have helped him there. He was late with his eyes. There was a little bit of indecision by the receiver. Just watch. He doesn't look.
Pretty good coverage there by Eric Scott, too, 2nd-year pro out of Southern Miss. Well, if this is in fact Gardner Minshew's final drive of the night, and put something special together. Cowboys bring a blitz. He settles outside, and it's incomplete. DJ Turner, the intended receiver. Keemon Hall out there in coverage. And A.J. Cole will come on to punt. And again, Rich, we talked about this from the outset. The decision is not going to be made based on tonight alone. But it is the last thing you're putting out there before what is the said decision point.
Yeah, we had a great conversation with Antonio Pierce on Friday, and he talked about the fact that they have over 1,200 reps to evaluate. Oh, great punt.
A 64-yard boot, and it drives Cropper back. And he lost the ball! Raiders have it. They say they're on it at the 23. A beautiful punt. And if the Raiders have it, they're put in good position. And they do.
That's Amir Abdullah. I think he gets his arm in there, Jason, and strips that ball.
Now the Cowboys do have it.
Watch Abdullah come in here. I think he's the one that strips it.
Yeah, and there's DJ.
That's a great coverage. That's a great job by the coverage unit.
The field as the ball was fumbled and recovered by the.
Now remember, all turnovers are replayed upstairs, so Mike McCarthy does not have to challenge that. But I don't know what there would be to take a look at that and change that, so there won't.
Great field position here.
Well, this is situational football, right? What do you do out of sudden changes?
Usually take a shot.
Dylan Laube was in the backfield, the rookie who's now in the slot. Minshew throws it the other way to one of his tight ends. And a short gain, John Samuel Schenker on the ground.
I'm talking to Antonio Pearson. One thing he was really pleased with the offense last year was just some of the mechanics. Luke Getsy did a great job getting the plays into the quarterbacks quickly. And as a quarterback, you love that, Jason. I want to play early. I want to be able to give some tips and reminders to some of the players in the huddle. I want to be able to get up the line of scrimmage with plenty of time to change the protection, to change the play, to see the front and coverage. And the offensive coordinator can really help you with that, getting the play in quick.
On second down, Minshew again escapes the pocket. And he takes off. And he scrambles for a nice gain to get inside the 20-yard line. He picked up 5 yards with his legs. Antonio Pierce said.
Nice job by sitting in there and getting what you can get. Another big third down. This may be 4-down territory in the preseason.
New receivers in. That's Alex Bachman, who goes in motion. On 3rd and 6. Minshew dumps it short.
A little screen.
Yeah, they were looking for Laube, but it hit the helmet of Dylan Parham, the guard. But to your point, Rich, they're going for it. The offense is staying on the field.
Yeah, that one just took a while to develop. That's unfortunate. Laube got caught up in the wash. But this is what you get in the preseason, right? You get a chance to, you want to look at a quarterback. You want to look at some situational football. And normally in the regular season, you kick the field goal here.
Can Minshew capitalize on the takeaway by the punt team? On 4th and 6. Settles, fires. Oh, Bryant looked like he tripped out of the break and he threw it high. Rich, he had him open.
But man, you gotta put.
Raiders turn it over on downs, cannot convert on the takeaway by the punt team. 3-3, 11:33 to go. Jason Horwitz, Rich Gannon. In Minnesota last week, Rich, so much good out of the offense and the starters in the first half. Haven't felt the same way yet tonight.
Some missed opportunities, no question about it. You look at Gardner Minshew, 10 of 21 in the first half. Jason, we were talking about it. Over 1,200 reps that these quarterbacks. I think Aiden O'Connell's got a real chance to win this job here tonight.
Trey Lance crosses body. Luke Schoonmaker is drilled by Divine Diablo. And again, for Gardner Minshew, last week had the majority of the snaps after the opening drive, all of them in the first half. And he put together 3 scoring drives, including 2 touchdowns last week.
I think you know what you have with Gardner Minshew. I think with Aiden O'Connell, I think there's more upside, right? I think as a young player last year, he did some really good things. I think he throws the ball better from the pocket. I think he's got a really good opportunity here tonight if he comes in, whether it's before the half or in the third quarter, to really show that he can be that guy week 1.
And again, the Raiders starters are still on the field here with 10:40 to go in the second quarter. Antonio Pierce told us to expect that throughout the first half, maybe into the third quarter as well.
A lot of coaches want to see these guys play and then go into the locker room at halftime and come back and play in the second half. Maybe not every starter, but a lot of them.
They're down in 5. Dallas 0 for 3 on 3rd down in the opening half. Trey Lance behind the receiver and incomplete.
And this is the knock on Trey Lance, is the accuracy. Talking to a couple Cowboy coaches earlier before the game, he just misses too many receivers. When you have him open and this
58 yards, that's it. Tucker waiting for it.
He's got room.
He does have room. Tries the sideline. Stays in bounds. Trey Tucker. He has been electric here in the preseason, and he's got the Raiders set up inside the 35.
This guy's fun to watch. He doesn't need a lot of space on the boundary. He was tight-roping it down the boundary. He's a guy that can dramatically change field position.
Team out of bounds on his own. Kicking team number 80. That 5-yard penalty will be added to the end of the play. It'll be first down for the Raiders.
A 42-yard opening drive. At the first drive, he went 15 plays, and that was all he got. Tonight he watched Gardner Minshew take the first 5 series. And he's coming out throwing over the middle. On the mark to Wilkerson inside the 15. That was a dime over the middle.
Aiden O'Connell really likes play action. He does a good job turning his back to the line of scrimmage, but watch, throws the ball really well from the pocket. He's got real arm talent, not a weakness on the field for him.
Toss play, Zamir White, flag flies, got space. White chased down from behind. Buddy Johnson in his second year out of Texas A&M with the tackle, but we await the marker.
Holding. Offense number 61. 10-yard penalty. First down.
All right, that is Jordan Meredith. So the starters on the offensive line, on the interior of the offensive line, no longer in the ballgame.
That's where there's real competition on the interior of that offensive line. I don't know about that one there.
Andre James out of the game. Cody Whitehair out of the game. Andrews Pete out of the game. Thayer Munford has gone from the right side to the left side, and the rookie TJ Glaze is now the right tackle. O'Connell. Ooh, tough throw, and Zamir White was hung out to dry.
It's dangerous when you work from one side of the field all the way back to the other. Just late with your eye.
To the second-year pro out of Purdue. 10-game starter a year ago. He led the Raiders to a 5-5 record. As an open man, Cole Fotheringham turns it upfield. Actually, that's Samuel Shanker. And it'll be 3rd and long.
One thing I like about Aiden O'Connell, he doesn't panic. He's a young quarterback that has some poise. And when the rush gets to him, he seems to know where his quick answer throws are. Look, you know me, Jason. I don't have a horse in the race. I want one of these quarterbacks to play really well for the Raiders this year and play every game. I think that's important. Playing all 17, that's got to be the #1 goal for whoever lines up under center week 1.
Empty set, 3rd and 16. O'Connell has
throw.
Wilkerson. Cannot get past the defender. Andrew Booth has been a sure tackler for the Cowboys. And they got, though, inside the 10, so he picked up a bunch of those yards. But they are going to bring the kicking set up beautifully after the long punt return by Trey Tucker.
Red zone offense hasn't been very good tonight, settling for way too many kicks in this part of the field. It was a problem last year as well.
Carlson hit from 29. He is good from 27. And the Raiders tack on 3 more. In a night where the quarterbacks are dueling to try and figure out who's going to start the year for Las Vegas.
What's your team going to miss?
3. Raiders up 6-3. Daniel Carlson sets to kick it away. You know, Rich, we had an entire week of the new NFL dynamic kickoff. Kicking from the 35, your teammates at the opposing 40. And remember, the NFL's whole goal in all this is to have more kickoff returns, but in a safer manner. And at least through 1 week of preseason, there were a few more dynamic returns of 40-plus yards.
Yeah, and remember, it's still the preseason. I think we're not seeing maybe as much strategy when it comes to the return game, but the NFL certainly wanting more explosive and exciting plays in the kickoff.
They don't get it there. Beautifully done by the Raiders on special teams. Rashad Williams down there to make the stop. And this is what we're talking about. Last year was the lowest
touchback. So there's a fine line between the exciting play and the safety of the play.
Hand off for Royce Freeman out to the 30. Divine Diablo on the stop. And again, your point about this being the preseason and special teams coordinators not wanting to show anything, we don't really know what this will look like in the regular season.
I get a sense, though, when you watch the kickers, to them it's like a chip shot. I think what they're trying to do is land the ball down around the goal line. I think you're going to start seeing them put a little bit more air on it. These guys have worked on that. But at the end of the day, you know, I think we're trying to discourage them, obviously, kicking the ball into the end zone, because that certainly affects starting field position.
On 2nd and 3, another run to Freeman. And he's going to be close to the marker. Spillane drove him back. That's the Jade Silvera in there. And, you know, we're starting to see a lot of pushing. The officials have had to get in there multiple times here in the first half. That continues here. Not all the Raiders starters on defense still playing here deep into the second quarter. Max Crosby, Christian Wilkins no longer on the field for Antonio Pierce, but the starting secondary still on the field. Starting linebackers and the rotation of the defensive line.
I like this linebacking core. I mean, they come downhill with the purpose. You look at Spillane. He had a huge impact on this defense last year, coming over from Pittsburgh at free agency. He brought some toughness, some accountability, great communicator in the middle of that defense.
Lance throws it, caught near side. Flournoy, Jack Jones with an extra shove. But the rookie picks up enough for the first down.
Jack Jones doesn't like anybody catching the ball on him.
Another substantial first down run. And that, when we talked to Patrick Graham yesterday, the Raiders' third-year defensive coordinator, he said, look, we have to stop the run on 1st and 2nd down. We have to make them in 2nd and 3rd and passing situations. Here in the preseason yet, Rich, we have not seen that, for whatever that's worth.
No, you can't let them run the ball on you. I mean, it's demoralizing for a defense. You can't have fun until you can stop the run. All these guys want to do is rush the passer, but you got to stop the run first.
5-yard run. They go back to Deuce Vaughn. He gets out of the initial wave, and he picks up another first down.
It's a big offensive line they got in there. You got to be able to come off the double teams. You got to be able to set the edge, force these runs back up inside.
Remember, too, these are the players for the Cowboys trying to make the roster. Tyler Smith, Zach Martin, Terrence Steele, the regular starters, not playing tonight, so who are going to be their backups? And these are all those guys trying to make a mark. That's caught. Flournoy in front of Jones. Luke Governor there to stop him immediately at the 36 as well. But Trey Lance putting together a nice drive here for the Cowboys.
He's an interesting prospect. You know, we talked about his inexperience. He just needs reps. I talked to some of the Cowboy coaches before the game. He played a lot last week. Jason, we saw him throw the ball a bunch. He's going to probably play the rest of the game and into the fourth quarter. They want to find out about this young quarterback who was a first-round pick of the 49ers a couple years ago.
Give it back to Deuce Vaughn. Spun away from Janaris Robinson. And Vaughn picks up the first down. You know, we're seeing a lot of this 5'5" running back in his second year out of Kansas State. Rich, he was so dynamic in his career at Kansas State. Just the second player ever in Big 12 history with 3,600 rushing yards and over 1,250 receiving yards. Kansas State, just the second player ever in Big 12 history with 3,600 rushing yards and over 1,250 receiving yards.
And you mentioned his size. I mean, he gets lost behind that big offense for a smaller back.
And you may remember his dad, Chris, scout for the Cowboys. He's the one that made the call last year when Deuce was selected in the 6th round.
Some confusion here. You see the quarterback looking over at
Dallas. That's their
Mike
second and a half.
Mike McCarthy took over the play calling duties last year, and the offense really took off.
They had the best offense in the NFL last year. Drive. Looking to go to the air. He dumps it short. Flournoy again. And a solid hit by Jack Jones. It's like those two are making it very personal here on this drive, Rich.
18 against 18. This is laundry. Oh, great job here.
Lance got it away. And the tight end for the Cowboys picks up the first down.
Wow.
Schoonmaker gets enough to get in the red zone. It was Polamalu got the pressure on Trey Lance, but he didn't panic.
No, he really did. You see the...
This is the 2-minute warning. Timeout.
So the Cowboys set up on the Raiders' 17-yard line last week. Silver and black defense had a great goal line. First home preseason game number 2. First and 10 for Trey Lance and the Cowboys. The handoff to Royce Freeman. Maybe picks up a couple. Diablo and Nestor Jade Silvera, who's made some nice plays here in the preseason. And, you know, you and I were talking during the break here, Richard, depending on here what happens on second down. But maybe you start trying to, hey, can we get Aiden O'Connell a 2-minute drill?
Yeah, you'd love to get that. You also love to stop them here. You know, they spent a lot of time trying to shore up this red zone defense. It's been a point of emphasis this offseason.
It's a jet sweep to the receiver. He breaks out of a tackle, and he dives out of bounds. Jalen Cropper picks up close to the first down yardage. It'll be 3rd down and 1.
Marcus Epps had an opportunity.
You may have heard our referee Alex Kemp say that the previous play is under review. Now remember, you may have heard this here during the offseason, but some of the preseason games this year, Rich, the NFL is trying out the Hawkeye technology to see if in fact a team does have a first down. Now it's not going to be used to help spot the ball here in the preseason and select games, only to check the measurement. And so we have not seen this yet ourselves in the preseason, but we may get that here.
The other thing you may get here.
After review, the runner was down inbounds at 1:23. That creates a 10-second runoff. Please reset the game clock to 1:13 and the clock to 30. Both.
One thing the Raiders have to be aware of, you have a quarterback like Trey Lance.
Las Vegas has chosen to call timeout at 1:23.3. That is their 3rd and final timeout of the half. It'll be 30 seconds from that.
And again, this is a rule that changed a couple of years ago. Real quickly, Rich.
That was their first timeout, yes.
Not to interrupt Alex Kemp there.
You have to be aware of Trey Lance running with the football in this situation, whether by design or off the scramble.
Please reset the play clock to 25 seconds. Thank you.
All right, so a lot to clean up there. Because the referees ruled him out of bounds and the play had it been correct on the field, the clock would have continued. That's the 10-second runoff, which the Raiders elected to not let happen because Antonio Pierce wants his team to get a 2-minute drill. But to your point, he wants to stop. 3rd down and 1 for Trey Lance, and he brings Freeman back next to him. He kept it, and Tyree Wilson saw it, but Lance got away, and he picks up the first down and gets out of bounds.
That's unfortunate because the Raiders were ready for it. They had the edge set. You look at Tyree Wilson.
First and goal for the Cowboys as they are going right into the black hole. Freeman stopped at the line and turns forward. Down at the 1, and Antonio Pierce is on the field. He wants a timeout, and he gets it.
Timeout. Las Vegas, their 2nd. We have 30-second timeout.
And again, this is what we were talking about. He knows he wants to save time. He wants to see Aiden O'Connell. They talk about situational football. He wants to give his quarterback trying to win a job a chance to go down and score before halftime.
Absolutely. It's a good usage of timeouts. There's a lot of conversation about what happened last week, and they're still working through the mechanics. You know, AP's got somebody upstairs in the coaching booth, and you're talking through some of these situations. But, you know, when you make something a point of emphasis, really enjoyed our conversation with defensive coordinator Patrick Graham on Friday. He talked about situationally we have to be better. And one of those areas is red zone. There were 26 a season ago. You cannot let people run the ball on you on this part of the field. Force him to throw it.
Again, Trey Lance's legs, such a factor. He is going to throw. He's open receiver. Touchdown, Dallas. The rookie Flournoy got behind Jack Jones, and the Cowboys go in front 9-6.
Got him on a double move. Just watch. He's going to start him inside. And then Jack, see a little stutter inside, and Jack Jones has got his eyes in the wrong place. Good throw by.
Rich, that's the capper to a 14-play, 76-yard drive. Extra point is good.
Extra plays on his own when things break down. That's not what he's known for. But where I think he's better is his ability to push the ball down the field, to use all of the field with his arm talent.
We'll see where they'll start this drive. Abdullah and the rookie Lauby are back deep to receive. It's left short, and Abdullah's at the 3. A flag flew right at the line, so this might come back.
Somebody moved early.
Yep. And again, remember, the receiver, or it hits the ground. And Mike McCarthy's got the option to re-kick or to take the 5 yards on the back end.
Illegal formation, receiving team number 4. That penalty is declined. First down, Las Vegas.
All right, so there you go. They'll decline that. They don't want to re-kick. Rich, your breakdown of number 12.
Let's take a look at other really good throws in that game as well.
He only had the one drive, a 15-play drive to open that game. He's throwing. He's got Wilkerson on the sideline, and he's out of bounds. So a nice touch throw to Christian Wilkerson, who makes his 3rd catch of the half, and he got out of bounds with nothing coming off the clock.
Always like to start the 2-minute drive with the completion. Love how they use the boundary as well.
Got 10 yards, so enough for a first down. And again, if you're comparing time on the field, O'Connell last week 1 drive, Minshew 4. Minshew had 5 drives here in the first half. O'Connell's had just 1. But they're comparing so many other things, not just tonight, trying to announce who the starter's going to be. Clean pocket. O'Connell downfield. Through the hands of Wilkerson at the Cowboys 44.
Got to make that catch. It's a pretty good throw. A little pivot route. A little bit high, but you got to make that catch. Just watch. It's not always going to be perfect.
Cowboys bring a blitz on 2nd down. O'Connell takes a deep shot for Tucker. And it's a little too far in front of the 2nd-year pro. Nice coverage again by Andrew Booth, 3rd-year man out of Clemson, trying to make this roster after being traded by the Vikings last week to Dallas, and it'll be 3rd down and 10.
That was good coverage.
Well, it's not apples to apples, Rich, because of who's been on the field for how much time and who they're playing with. But I think last week, because they played so well, you wanted that to continue tonight, and that hasn't happened just yet. O'Connell trying to get it out to Lauby, and he had a man right in his face with pressure. And so the Raiders now just 2 of 9 on 3rd down. Al-Quadin Muhammad had the pressure, and it'll be 4th and 10. .52-yard punt on the bounce. Nice tackle from behind to stand him up. And the special teams unit has been good tonight. Sam Webb was down there in coverage with the initial hit. We'll see what the Cowboys will like to do with 28 seconds. You know, Antonio Pierce told us yesterday, Rich, season as well.
Yeah, there's so much time spent during the seasons, particularly during game week, you know, looking at the first 15, 20 plays, getting off to a good start. He's already looking at the schedule the first month of the season, trying to figure out which of these 2 quarterbacks give the Raiders the best chance against those defenses, against those defensive coordinators, against those systems with the personnel that we have. This offense is going to look a lot different. You get both those tight ends on the field.
Amps dumps is short to the tight end, John Stevens, who gets out of bounds.
So excited to see what Brock Bowers can do this year alongside Michael Mayer. That's going to be a personnel group that you see on the field a lot. You're going to see a lot of 2 tight ends, 3 tight end sets. You're going to see Brock Bowers moved all around. I think that's going to be a real benefit to whichever of these two quarterbacks lines up week 1 under center versus the Chargers.
Back end of the Raiders starters, the secondary and the linebackers still on the field here late in the second quarter. They're coming with 4. Lance has Stevens against short. Raiders will give him that, and he steps out of bounds. He's got the first. Another 5 seconds came off the clock. He's out to the 29-yard line.
I'm excited to see what this defense can look like in 2024. I think Christian Wilkinson inside is going to be a huge boost to this unit. You know, you look at what he brings. I mean, energy, the work ethic, the toughness. So good at the point of attack. He's big, he's strong. You pair him with Max Crosby and the rest of that group, and I just think this is a defense that has a chance to really build on what they did in the second half of the season. They played some good defense down the stretch for Patrick Graham.
Nobody better the last 9 weeks of the year. Raiders defense number 1 in the NFL in points allowed per game. Lance gets outside of the pocket. And he will go out of bounds after a 3-yard gain, but 7 seconds came off the clock, so down to just 10 seconds here in the half.
You mentioned that they only allowed 16 points per game over the last 9. And it was just the style with which they played. They were more physical. They played the run better. They cut down on the mistakes. The penalties were down. The takeaways, the sacks were all up. That's something to build on as you begin this season.
Lance gets out of the pocket, again takes off. He's up to midfield and he slides down with 2 seconds. And a timeout taken. Now the clock's read 0, but the officials say they called the timeout before the time expired.
They're going to try. They're going to try and kick a field goal here. They are.
Timeout. Dallas. That's their 3rd and final timeout of the half. Please reset the game clock to 3 seconds. 3 seconds.
Well, they spot Trey Lance down at the 49 of the Raiders.
Be about a 66. A big gap up the middle here. A quarterback like Trey Lance, you've got to be really disciplined with your rush lanes.
Richie had 44 yards rushing last week. He's got 30 yards rushing today. Look at the time. We're going to try this. Brandon Aubrey hit from 60 last year. This is officially a 66-yard field goal. He drills it, doesn't have enough. Oh, man, 66 for Aubrey.
This is the end of the first half.
Holy cow. Now the Raiders will go back into the locker room and talk about this first half. Some of the
at the distance of the goal line, first down.
That is Princeton Fant, tight end out of Tennessee. Well, Trey Lance in the first half was pretty good for Dallas. He had 34 yards on the ground. He was 8 of 11 and a touchdown pass as well. Jacory and Bennett still on the field. Lone expected Raiders defensive starter still in there. Thrown behind the receiver, and it's batted up and down. Knocked out of the air to Camryon Richardson, the rookie out of Mississippi State. And Rich, this is a big part of the second half. The young corners who are going to be the depth of this defense.
Yeah, I'm anxious to see Richardson here, and this has got a chance to be a good one. He's fast, he's long, he's physical, he's ultra competitive, and he plays with some confidence. Watched a lot of his film in Mississippi State.
He's got blazing speed. He was a good returner too. Lance over the middle. It's caught. Bennett couldn't rip it out of there. Kelvin Harmon, been kicking around the league for a long time. Had 30 grabs with Washington back in 2018, and it's enough for a first down.
Well, Bennett in position. Just got to get that right arm in there a little bit quicker.
Lance back to the air. Nobody home. Jaden Grant the closest to the ball. It'll be second down.
Good opportunity to look at some of these young players in the secondary. I think the Cowboys are going to try and throw the ball a little bit here in the second half. as they continue to evaluate their quarterback position with Trey Lance.
Now remember, he was the number 3 overall pick in 2021. The Niners gave up a ton of draft stock to get him. Last year they traded him to Dallas in the preseason for a 4th-round pick. Back to the ground. Malik Davis met in the hole. It'll be 3rd and long. Nice tackle by the 2nd-year safety Chris Smith.
Those 49ers found a quarterback a little later in the draft from Iowa State that they kind of like, and Brock Purdy. He's looked pretty good here the last couple of years.
It costs a little bit less than a 1st-round pick, too. 3rd and 6. Cowboys only converted 1 of 5 in the first half. Lance the shovel play, and they run it perfectly. Ellerson Smith came off the edge, and he had his big arms outstretched to take that down.
A great penetration by Smith. Just going to see him. He comes right up the field and takes the.
Now, one of a couple different Northern Iowa players on this defense trying to make the team. Ellerson Smith, corner Wu Governor, both some of the back-end players here on the Raiders defense.
He's got room.
He does have room. Trey Tucker had a nice return earlier. This is DJ Turner. Gets through the middle, and he fights for some hard yardage out to the 43-yard line. 48-yard punt. Aiden O'Connell set up with good field position for his first drive of the second half. Coordinator from 04 to 08.
I've known Buddy and Rob and Rex for a long time, and the one thing that they all have in common is they don't like quarterbacks, and they like to get after them. And Rob's no different. An excellent coach.
Helping out Patrick Graham and that staff. So Aiden O'Connell got the last 2 drives of the opening half, was 4 of 8. They go to the ground with Zamir White. He got away from one, could not get away from Damian Wilson after a 2-yard pickup.
You can see the tight on Zamir White.
There were some of the starters on the offensive line. Thayer Mumford, who started at right tackle, still in this game. He's playing left tackle. He and DJ Glaze, you know, that right tackle spot who's going to start 2024's openers up for grabs still, and Glaze is the right tackle too. Cowboys showing blitz. Here they come. O'Connell got rid of it to Turner. And he picks up positive yard, about 5 out to midfield. And also bring up 3rd down and about 3 here for the Raiders. Nice pocket. He pumped. He got it. It's right at the marker, and he carries the defender. That's a 1st down. Harrison Bryant has enough to move the chains on a tight throw from Aiden O'Connell.
He just runs a little pivot route, and Aiden O'Connell puts it right on him.
Officials guide technology. Explained it to you in the first half. New this year, it's not about where the ball is spotted. It's only a virtual measurement for whether or not it is a 1st down. They are using it in some of the stadiums around the NFL here to
measure whether or not the ball had crossed the line of game by putting it up against
just like tennis, right? When a tennis player challenges the chair umpire and you see it and the entire crowd goes ooh. Kind of the same thing.
Well, you know, you would think nowadays we could, you know, we send people to the moon, we could get the technology right, and we could figure out whether or not the receiver or ball carrier got the 1st down.
First set of downs for O'Connell. They've been throwing a lot tonight. All kinds of time. Turner leaks out of the backfield. Makes one man miss. DJ Turner still going, and he's got a 1st down. You know, Rich, I know all the focus is about the quarterbacks and who's going to be the starter. DJ Turner has been a guy who looks like he is going to be a part of this roster and not just on special teams.
Yeah, just watch the eyes of the quarterback. Well, it was a really good job there by Aiden O'Connell, not panicking under duress.
White trying to find the right side, and he gets about 3 yards. You know, when we talked to Jacoby Myers yesterday, you know, everyone talks about the dynamic playmakers on this team and the rookie Brock Bowers. He said it's the guys you don't talk about that make this offense unique, and DJ Turner is someone he brought up.
Yeah, you know, I think the work ethic, right? It's really jumped out to the receivers, the guys in that room. The other thing that Jacoby Myers said that really made some sense to me, he said our goal as an offense is to make whichever quarterback plays comfortable. And there's something to be said for that. Everybody's got to do their part.
Another run, this time to Alexander Madison, who hit the hole hard. A nice run. They get set up 3rd down and 2. We have seen a lot through the air between Minshew and O'Connell. They have thrown the ball 32 times tonight, Rich. That is just the 8th rushing attempt by a Raiders running back. And they're up on the ball fast. And a quick throw. And it's well over the head of Christian Wilkerson.
They're going to go for it here. They jumped the ball, and they fooled themselves there. Look at offensive coordinator Luke Getz. He's been getting the plays in quickly. They've gone for it a couple times here now down in the red zone on 4th down.
They're 0 of 2 tonight on 4th down.
You got one-on-one coverage right down the bottom here.
And he's got DJ Turner and converts. Tough catch in traffic and a 1st down.
Nice little route by DJ Turner. He starts him outside. Watch this release. He's going to start him outside.
Wait for DJ Turner. He's been trying to be a part of this, but he's got speed. He certainly has flash. And when Michael Gallup retired, Rich, had opened up that 4th and 5th wide receiver spot for guys to be part of this roster.
Yeah, I just think that, you know, a lot of these guys have a chance to be a whole lot better in year 2. But the other challenge is you're learning a new system, right? The one guy that really knows it is Devontae Adams from his time in Green Bay with Luke Getsy. Everybody else, it's a lot of new learning going on. That can slow the process down as well.
And off to Dylan Laube, trying to follow John Samuel Shanker into the hole, and he gets about 1, maybe 2. So it'll bring up 3rd down again here for Aiden O'Connell.
Again, 4-down territory, and if you're Antonio Pierce, you turn to your offensive coordinator Luke Getsy and say, hey, you got 2 downs here to get it. Then Luke in turn tells the quarterback, hey, Aiden, you've got 2 downs here, let's be smart.
Laube stays in the backfield, the rookie out of New Hampshire.
Got to get something here.
On 3rd and 5.
High
throw, great crowd. It's Turner again with a 1st down.
That was good coverage by DeBerry as well. That's just a really good throw, low and away to DJ Turner.
And just get 3 yards. Nearly hitting the backfield. How about the hands, though, too? You mentioned the placement, Rich, but the hands by DJ Turner.
Yeah, but watch where he throws. I mean, the good ones and the great ones. You can make those, you can throw the ball into tight windows accurately and on time.
O'Connell is 5 of 6 on the drive. 13th play of the drive. Throwing, hits, open tight end, touchdown Raiders. Harrison Bryant into the end zone, and they cap off a lengthy drive to pull within 1 here in the 3rd.
They go for 2.
Yeah, they're going to go for 2.
There's Bryant. He's just going to come out to the flat. But just a good decision there to get. I like what I'm seeing from Aiden O'Connell. I think you see the confidence, you see the poise, you see him taking control of these situations, you see the communication.
He converted a 4th down. He converted a pair of 3rd downs. And they're trying to put a 2-point conversion on the board, too. That's Turner in motion. Backpedaling, lobbing, and nobody home.
So you got to give him a chance.
So they don't cap it off with a 2-point conversion, but they score in a touchdown on 3rd and 4th down. And you like the accuracy of Aiden O'Connell on that drive, too.
And remember, this is a guy that came in last year, supposed to have a redshirt year. It was supposed to be Jimmy Garoppolo and Brian Hoyer. What happens? He winds up playing in 10 games. He wins half of them. He played well. He played really good down the stretch. 8 touchdowns and no interceptions in his last 4 starts. I believe the kid has a chance to be a good player, but I think he needs the opportunity to build on what we saw from him late in the season.
Deuce Vaughn coming out, and again the special teams unit has it inside the 20. Now again, regular season, that will probably be down in the end zone to come out to the 30, but not there.
Good decision maker.
Harmon on the quick throw out to the side. Richardson on the tackle with Amari Gaynor, the rookie linebacker out of North Carolina.
They're just paying off at Aiden O'Connell in terms of the decision making. He played in 10 games last year. He only threw 7 picks. You know, I think for a rookie, that's pretty good. And keep in mind, he had a couple of different play callers. Now, they fired the coach on him in the middle of the season. It's not easy.
Deuce Vaughn again stutters in the backfield. Nice tackle. Amari Gaynor made a bunch of nice plays in the second half last week and was there to stop him. There are a couple flags down right by the line.
Holding. Offense number 47. It's a 10-yard penalty. Still second down.
That is the rookie tight end out of Minnesota, Brevin Spann-Ford. And again, Rich, you talked about this last week in Minnesota when we came on the air about, you know, Aiden O'Connell, a rookie last year and a 4th-round pick, but rookies to their second year generally make a big jump. And so if you got what you got the last 4 or 5 starts last year, what is the possibility this year?
Yeah, that's where we typically see a lot of improvement. Now, keep in mind, you got a new coordinator, a new system, new terminology, new verbiage. There's a lot of new learning going on for the second-year player. You're not able to come back into the building the first day of the spring and build on what you did last year. What you're doing is you're being handed a new playbook. It's kind of like learning German your first year of high school. And then your sophomore year, we take the German book back and we give you a Spanish book and say, hey, good luck with that. It's hard. You're constantly having to learn, and that slows down the process, especially for a young quarterback. I know you're bilingual, so that wouldn't be a big deal for you, but for a lot of people like myself, Jason, that's a problem.
Yeah, but I'm not quadlingual. Broken up. Solid coverage by Chris Smith. And the Cowboys will have to punt it away.
Yeah, good sequence there. Nice little 3-and-out.
And again, we've seen this tonight. You know, one of the things Antonio Pierce said, they really like this safety group, and Isaiah Pola-Mao, Chris Smith, a big part of that.
Yeah, I think they've got good depth, good talent there. And Trey Taylor's going to be a good one as well.
Connell strapping on the helmet one more time, so maybe we see him for one more drive. Anger to punt it away. We've seen good returns tonight. This time it is Amir Abdullah with a lot of space. And he brings it out to the 35-yard line, which is where the Raiders will take over. Put together a 7-minute drive to start the second half. Tonight, Devontae Adams also not playing tonight. The rest of the Raiders' offensive starters have played, and they have played a lot. And all of the Raiders' defensive expected starters got at least 2 series in this ballgame. O'Connell's going back to the air. He leaves it short. Abdullah, nice grab, got out of the tackle, and the veteran is up by midfield.
Sometimes as a quarterback, you just want to give him an opportunity. You know, you put it in the hands of a player like Abdullah, he's probably going to make the first defender miss. This doesn't look like
he panned out, but he has turned into a great third down back and special teams contributor. First and 10, they pitch it to Abdullah, and he didn't have any time or space. Solid play. Julius Wood, the rookie out of East Carolina, an undrafted free agent.
Yeah, the receiver can't make that block, and that's one he should have probably gotten out of. When you evaluate the quarterback position, you say, well, he's playing against a bunch of backups for Dallas. Yeah, but he's playing with a lot of young guys as well on the offensive side of the ball. You can evaluate a lot at that position. Decision-making, footwork, timing, anticipation.
Got Ramel Keaton in at wide receiver. He's at the bottom of your screen. He pumped it that way. He throws it that way. And he's going to draw a pass interference on the Cowboys.
A little double move, and they got him. DeBerry He grabs.
Pass interference. Defense number 38. Ball is placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
They're trying to run a little double move.
Going. Ramel Keaton was a starter. And then last year as well, after Hendon Hooker with Joe Milton, who's now with the Patriots, Keaton averaged over 18 yards a catch, which was third best in the SEC. So he is a guy that can fly and do things with the ball in his hands.
Look at this cushion.
They go the other way to Jalen Guyton. He got one block. He runs into Ben Brown, his center. And all of that pinball gets 2 yards.
The Raiders have always had speed at wide receiver. I mean, going back to Cliff Branch, you know, all the players that I played with could get up and go. James Jett was a world-class sprinter. They've always had guys that can take the top off the defense, and that's something that Al Davis always believed in. Mark does as well. So does Tom Telesco.
Aiden O'Connell was 4 of 8 in the first half. He is 9 of 10 passing in the second. Abdullah takes it into the pile. He's just inside the 37. Well, there wasn't a lot of positive plays on the offensive side last week, Rich, in the third and fourth quarter. At least here in the third quarter, it has been a different story. They've been able to move the football, break some tackles, and get some lengthy drives.
And I think part of it is the quarterback's responsibility is just to manage the situation, manage the young guys, make sure you're communicating, make sure you're giving them extra tips. Nobody breaks the huddle if they're unsure of exactly what to do.
On 3rd and 5, he's got Guyton in the flat. He turns the corner, has the first down. The ball placement led him upfield, and Jalen Guyton picks up the first.
And some of these throws don't look all that difficult, but it's the location, it's getting the receiver to the transition, the run, it's the velocity. Getting the ball out quickly, throwing the ball, those short and intermediate routes with good velocity.
Oh, and he's in a groove too, Rich. He's 10 of 11 here in the second half.
He knows what's at stake. There's more than just a win in the preseason game on the line here. Got to move.
Out of the pocket,
somebody's got to get open.
Flag flies, and he dumps it into the bench.
Bad job by the receivers. When the quarterback gets outside the pocket, you got to come to life. Jalen Guyton could have done a better job on the boundary.
Offense number 66. It's a 10-yard penalty, first down.
We're going to come back anyway. Dylan Parham, who started this game at guard, still in there, is whistled for holding.
When you get a quarterback that gets out, more of a sense of urgency from the receivers and tight end in that situation.
4 penalties tonight for 40 yards in Antonio Pierce's squad. John Samuel Schenker into the backfield as a fullback. Hand off to Laube. Got into the hole. And he picks up about 4 yards, which will take us to the end of the third quarter. Aiden O'Connell has the Raiders on the move. He has the ball for pretty much the entire third quarter. Can he cap off? Rich, he looks like he is going to be vastly improved.
Only at wide receiver, but as a returner as well.
2nd and 16 to start the fourth. Bad throw, intercepted by the Cowboys. Racing back the other way, Keemon Hole, and it's a Dallas pick 6. Now the emphasis on taking care of the football. And you see Aiden O'Connell telling his teammates, my fault.
Yeah, just watch him here. Is this relationship, and look at the defender. I mean, he's late with his eyes. He never feels the defender just watching him the entire way. I mean, that's just too easy of a play for Hall. What happens when you start to your right and you're late coming back to your left?
A 69-yard interception return.
And he knew it. He knew it right away.
Vegas, no matter what your passion is, you're sure to find it here. And when you're in the sports and entertainment capital of the world, every fan can go all out. Jason Horwitz, Rich Cannon, happy to have you back with us here inside Allegiant Stadium. Gardner Minshew started the night. In Aiden O'Connell's night, we don't know if it is over yet, and if it is, it would be after a bad taste in his mouth with a 69-yard pick six. Aubrey's kick coming down to Tulu Griffin. First chance to see him in a Raiders uniform, and he's got some speed. And a good return out past the 40 with flags flying into Cowboys territory. The rookie out of Mississippi State with a nice return, but it looks like it's coming back.
There's a hold in there somewhere.
During the return, holding, receiving team number 47. It's a 10-yard penalty, first down.
Now, Rich, he was an All-American, Tulu Griffin, as a returner 2 seasons ago. Well, Aiden O'Connell's night is done. And so he did some great things in the third quarter, but he started the fourth with a pick six.
Well, you hate to end the night that way. He was rolling. He was throwing the ball well, and
correction,
got a little careless.
The foul was on number 28. 28, Las Vegas.
So we get to see Carter Bradley, the rookie out of South Alabama. And as we told you last week, his dad, Gus Bradley, former defensive coordinator with the Raiders, now with the Colts. It's a stretch run play. Nice turn by McCormick, and another flag. Sincere McCormick out towards the 28-yard line, but it looks like it's coming back again.
I think they're going to hold.
Holding. Offense number 82. 10-yard penalty, still first down.
That's the wide receiver, Ramel Keaton.
He's got his hands outside. Watch Keaton right here. Especially when the run action's coming your way. Well, you got 1st and 20 with a rookie quarterback.
And I think the penalties, too, Rich, something that Antonio Pierce will talk about tonight. Wasn't a problem last week in Minnesota, but it's killed a couple of drives here tonight. First throw for Bradley. They didn't throw last week, and it's caught. Terrell Bynum out across the 20. So they pick up some of that yard. Out to the 21. It'll be 2nd down and 9.
You think about the opportunity a lot of these players are getting. You do the same work that everybody else does. You come in early, you stay late, you're in the weight room, you're in the training room, you're in the meeting room, you're studying the playbook, you're out on the practice field, all the OTAs and mini camps, and sometimes you don't get a chance to play till the very end of the game. You have to be ready, and you have to make the most of the opportunities you get.
Out into the flat, McCormick, a nice grab. And again, last week, Rich, we saw Anthony Brown Jr. get the 3rd reps behind O'Connell and Minshew. Raiders released him yesterday. They brought in Nathan Peterman earlier this week, a 7th-year vet who's been with Luke Getsy in Chicago, was with the Raiders for 4 seasons as well, mostly on the practice squad. And there's Carter Bradley, and again, he's trying to be, we know there's the battle for the number 1 job, but there's also that battle for who's going to be the 3rd quarterback.
Well, you know, and that's always the question. You know, how many do you keep on the roster with the practice squad? So there's a lot of things that you look at in terms of what that roster is going to look like.
Nice throw, Keaton. He was drilled and hung on to it. That was put in a tight window, and Ramel Keaton came down with it.
A nice throw by Bradley, and good job by Keaton holding on to it, catching the ball in traffic. Takes some courage to go across the middle of the field. You know you're going to get hit. I used to tell the receivers it doesn't hurt as much if you catch it.
Says the quarterback. Alley throwing again. Deep ball. Down the sideline. Oh, it's off the fingertips. Keaton got a little bit of space and could not pull it in. Now there is a flag back down where Bradley threw the football.
That's a good throw. Well, you got to make that catch. If it touches your...
Illegal use of the hands to the face, still first down.
Man, you got to bring that one in.
Illegal hands to the face, Jalen McKenzie. So back to a first down and 20 here for the Raiders. dumps it short, pick up a few yards. Again, McCormick out of the backfield. You think that mouth guard is bothering his vision out of the left eye?
I'd probably move it. I'd probably put it in my mouth. It's there for a purpose.
Now, you know, a lot of quarterbacks, they put it up there and then they take it out right before they snap the ball. He did not.
A lot of quarterbacks don't wear them. I never wore one. Hard to communicate with that mouthpiece in your mouth.
But it's hard to see with it in the vision of your left eye.
Does help, though. Helps save the teeth. It helps with concussions as well.
Thrown over the middle. It's a nice grab. Britton Brown went low, and he stayed on his feet to pick up a few extra yards. So it'll be 3rd down and about 5 here for the Raiders, who have held on to the football, Rich, with both Aiden O'Connell and now Carter Bradley for most of the second half.
Nice job by the back.
Cowboys show blitz. Here they come. Bradley caught. Fotheringham. It's right at the line. And they spot it close to the sticks.
Well, good job sitting in there. He knew he was going to get hit.
Officials timeout for a virtual measure.
And again, if you didn't see this one earlier, so too. But again, if the virtual measurement with the Hawkeye technology is being introduced in some stadiums around the NFL here during the preseason, and it is just to determine whether or not the ball is a first down. It is not to determine the spot of the ball, just whether it is a first down. And they throw it out there, and it is.
Kind of cool. I feel like I'm at Wimbledon.
Now, do you miss the chains?
I miss the guys that bring them out. You know, the old guys that, you know, enjoy the game. They're over there chewing sunflower seeds. Looking forward to having a Miller Lite after the game. Those are my guys. Nice job overcoming a penalty.
2 of them. Brown the carry out to midfield. And again, because of that penalty, that incompletion to Ramel Keaton doesn't count. So Carter Bradley is 6 of 6 for 43 yards here on this drive.
And he's been really patient. He's been willing to work the ball underneath. He's taken what he's been given. We see the arm talent there. He gets a shot to push the ball down the field a little bit. There you go. Little hand signal.
Good blitz pickup. Deep shot to McAllister.
Little push
incomplete. That was a great job picking up the blitz on the middle to even give Bradley a chance to throw that ball.
You know, when you really look under the hood and you study some of these young quarterbacks, you look at the preparation that goes into it. Watch Carter Bradley. You see him? He's going to change the route. He sees the pressure coming. He's trying to give the receiver a chance to make a play down the field. There's a quarterback that understands the front, understands the coverage and where the pressure's coming from. You can tell he's the son of a coach.
He's also converted a couple of 3rd downs. 1 on the play clock. He doesn't see it, and it's delay of game. He did not see it.
Offense. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
So a 3rd and 5. We'll go back to a 3rd and 10 for Carter Bradley.
Yeah, the penalty is just too much to overcome right now. You see Antonio Pierce. He ain't going to tolerate that. He's got a lot of young guys out there with him. He's trying to communicate, trying to make sure everybody knows what's going on. He loses track of that 25-second clock, and he knows it.
The 8th penalty on the Raiders tonight for 75 yards.
Too many. This is a double A. You see this a lot with. They don't always come from there. They'll bring one, drop the other.
Good job by the line to pick it up, and it was batted down at the line of scrimmage. Nice job by Huggins, Albert Huggins, and it'll be 4th down. I did see some nice things though from Carter Bradley, but the penalty's too much.
Yeah, just too much to overcome, and it wasn't just one person. Everybody's taking their part. Look at Rich Scangarello, the quarterback coach, talking to the young quarterback.
Kick coverage has been really good tonight, both from the kickoff unit and the punt team. He hung that high. A fair catch called for at the 10-yard line by the Cowboys. 44 on the punt, nothing on the return. E.J. Turner had a good flash. Open practice. Trey Lance gets it away. It's a first down completion out to Racey McMath. You know, we talked to Antonio Pierce about what it was like to have that practice in front of the fans, and he thought the energy was big for obviously the fans, but huge for his players to get back in this building.
I think the players like it, right? It breaks up the monotony of two-a-days. You get a chance to be out in front of the fans. I think they're trying hard to create a legitimate home field advantage here at Allegiant Stadium. I think you do that. Certainly winning goes a long way to addressing that issue, but I think there's a real effort to reach out to the community and give back to the fans. You know, have them come out here for free and watch a practice. And as Antonio Pierce told us, it's Vegas, man. We got to put on a show every time we step on the field.
You know, it's funny, you referenced that part of all that, Rich, and people have talked about Luke Getsy, the running game, and Antonio Pierce wants to run the football, and we asked him about that yesterday. Antonio Pierce wants to score points.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, we want to win games, right? And however we have to do it. But I've been so impressed with his leadership, with his vision, with his ability to communicate that to the players, to the staff. This is going to be something special this year when you watch this team.
Now the run with Snoop Connor. Jaden Grant came up, got away. Now they blow it dead and say Connor was down at the 36-yard line. It's coming back anyway. There's a hold in the backfield.
Holding. Offense number 65. That's a 10-yard penalty, and it's still second down.
You know, I think about what Detroit did with Dan Campbell and how successful that program is. And you look at Antonio Pierce. Here's a guy who was a great player. And he went on to have a broadcasting career, got it back into football as a coach. I think players respect his journey. I think players respect him when he says to them, hey, here's what has to happen. I think he's a straight shooter. I think he's not afraid to challenge the players, and I think the players have really responded to his leadership, and I think that's important.
Second and 17 after the penalty. Lance, another flag. Nice job by Gainer to make the stop and break that pass. It's going to be another hold against the Cowboys anyway. See if Antonio Pierce declines the penalty.
Holding. Offense number 75. That penalty's been declined. Third down.
And yes, the answer is, and every level too, Rich. You talk about respect him as a coach because he's high school coach, college coach, and obviously now is the interim last year and now the head coach here with the Raiders.
And I think all good players want to be coached. You know, if you're Devontae Adams, you're Max Crosby. They want to be coached. They want the feedback. I think he does it in such a way to challenge them and to be honest and transparent about ways they can get better. And all the good players, trust me, they want to be coached hard.
They're down in 17. Man dumps it short. Open field, got away, got a lot of yards, but not the first down. Nathaniel Pete, 5'8" running back out of Missouri. He's close. He picked up 14 or 15 yards.
An opportunity to get off the field if you're the Raiders on fourth down. The wild card is this Trey Lance. You don't know if he's going to throw it or run it. He's a tough tackle in the open field. You give him a two-way go.
Fourth down for the Cowboys. Handoff. First down. And Rich, I do think that will be a point of emphasis this week again for the Raiders. Yes, again, headlines are going to be about who he names as his starting quarterback. That's it. That's obvious. That's the given. That's been a storyline for months. But I think there's going to be a heavy focal point for this team about can they stop the run better once the season gets going.
Yeah, 21st in run defense last year. It wasn't good enough. They want to be a top 10, top 5 run defense. And it starts up front with that front seven.
That's a nice job by the defense. Connor got away from the first and cleaned up by MJ Devonshire, the rookie out of Pittsburgh. That's a loss of 2. again, a lot of that week one, Rich, was against the first and second team unit. A lot of that was in the first half by the Vikings. And again, the same thing, 120 yards rushing in the first half.
Yeah, and a couple explosives. And that's, you know, you got to keep the lid on the explosive runs. Runs of 10 yards or more.
He's passing. Lance got his height. He got it out to his tight end. And he spins forward for a first down. Alec Holward, rookie out of Central Florida.
Trey Lance is pretty good throwing the ball on the move. We saw it a number of times tonight going to his. This is good work for this young defense of the Raiders.
When you talk to folks for the Cowboys, which who cover them all year, they say, look, Cooper Rush is going to be the backup. But it was very low risk for them to trade a fourth-round pick to try and bring the number 3rd overall pick into Dallas and see what you can get.
And remember now, they've got a quarterback in Dak Prescott that threw for over 4,500 yards. He's in the final season of a 4-year, $160 million contract extension. So they got to get him figured out as well.
Timeout taking Dallas.
And CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah, we'll take it. We're on the defensive side of the ball there, Rich.
Yeah, you got some young corners. You mentioned Richardson and Devonshire. Guys have a chance to be good players. You know, lengthy corners with long arms, wingspan, physical, guys that can run in transition. And guys that can be valuable contributors in the kicking game as well.
3rd round pick DJ Glaze got a ton of action tonight as well at right tackle. Lance with play action on 1st and 10. Wide open middle of the field. McMath gets away from one and down to the 17-yard line on a 30-yard connection.
Little too much cushion there from Devonshire.
Inside of 4.5 to go here in the second preseason game of the year. One more to come next week against the Niners. Low throw, dropped, incomplete. And the whistle that dead. That is absolutely an incomplete pass. Bring up 2nd and 10.
Can't make the easy throws look difficult. Had a coach tell me that as a young player. He said, you got to hit them when they're open. The easy ones, got to make them.
Was your response then the same that it would be now? I'm trying.
I didn't say much, Jason, as a young player. I kept my mouth shut.
With the cutback, and he flies forward to the 11. And Rich, I know you weren't drafted 3rd overall, but you did come out of the FCS just like Trey Lance. How much of it, and again, he's 3 years now into the NFL, but how much of a massive adjustment is that?
I think it's a big adjustment. I think, you know, obviously when you're in that you know, smaller program, you're not playing against the great defensive coordinators, you know, and so I think there's a transition. There's no question about it. You have to learn fronts and coverages and protections and concepts on both sides of the ball.
Trey Lance on 3rd down. And that was snatched out of the air in a tight throw. Again, it's Racey McMath, speaking of SEC, in his 3rd year out of LSU.
You know, we're talking a little bit during the break about the philosophy of developing that quarterback position as we look at Trey McCarthy, the head coach of the Cowboys, was in Green Bay as the head coach when they had Rodgers. You look at them drafting, you know, when Aaron Rodgers was there, you know, drafted another quarterback, Jordan Love. And I think when you look at the Cowboys, they have a quarterback in Dak Prescott, but you're always looking towards the future.
Snoop Connor trying to run it in. The Raiders stand him up right near the line.
And I think that's something that the Raiders have to continue to do. You always have to be looking at that position, not just who the starter is, but where are we at down the road? And are we doing a good enough job internally developing the position, not just the starters, but the second guy, the third guy? And that's something that, in talking to the Raider coaching staff, talking to Tom Telesco, it is a point of emphasis, trying to address this quarterback position for the long haul.
Empty set here too, so something you got to watch. Trey Lance with his legs.
There it is. You're right. Quarterback draw.
He got away and he's in the end zone. Touchdown Dallas. And Flags thrown late in the end zone, too. There's going to be some unsportsmanlike conduct. There's been a lot of this right from the beginning of the game. But Trey Lance has played pretty well tonight. He's got a touchdown pass and now one on the ground.
You just watch the center and you just watch him come off. The quarterback's going to
The play was over.
And then he takes
Taunting offense number 65. That's his first taunting foul. It'll be 15 yards penalized on the try.
That's what you get with a mobile quarterback like Trey Lance. He can beat you a number of different ways. They like the potential there. There's no question about that.
Now they'll bring on Brandon Aubrey, who ended the first half with a 66-yard field goal make. Which, by the way, if this was a regular season game, that would tie the NFL record, which is Justin Tucker, who had a 66-yarder. So the elongated extra point because of the penalty is good. And it is 27-12 Dallas with 2:06 to go. Aubrey drills this one into the end zone to Luke Griffin. 5 yards deep, though. He's coming out with the NFL dynamic kickoff. And he's drilled at the 23-yard line. Which will bring us to the 2-minute warning. So we will step aside. Antonio Pierce. Little time left to see what Carter Bradley's got on the other side. Camp, go back up and coach, and they're out there in Williamsport, and the Raiders very excited for him as well.
How cool is that? They're all wearing Raider hats.
Carter Bradley, it looked like he was deflected and it came up short. And the teams having watch party, the equipment, and they work so hard, right? I mean, we were talking with some of the equipment guys, and Danny Molina the other day has been with this organization for so long.
We're spoiled here. We've got one of the best equipment staffs in all of football. And really, you think about, you know, Bobby Romanski, and he's been doing it since he was a kid, doing it with his dad, Dick. And Danny Molina's been here, and it's a great crew, and they do so much for the players. And they're here long before the players get here and long after they leave.
Good throw out to the edge. That's caught by Bynum for a first down. You know, Bob Romanski, Rich, he's 5 decades with this organization and took over for his dad as well.
You know what's really cool is that the Hall of Fame is the people. Dick Romanski got recognized by the Hall of Fame, I think, last year. You know, it's really amazing. When you think about people give 40, 50 years of their life to this game, they should be recognized for their contributions to the game.
Carter Bradley takes off with his legs and slide. One of my counterparts, Merrill Reese, who's been the voice of the Eagles for almost 5 decades, now in the Hall of Fame as well. Minute 30 to go. Carter Bradley trying to put together a 2-minute drill. Dumps it short. Sincere McCormick tackled at the 42-yard line. It'll bring about 3rd down and 2 as the clock continues to run. Two-minute drill, you work on it so much throughout the course of camp. Bradley throws behind the receiver and incomplete. Ramel Keaton, the intended receiver. It'll bring up 4th down and one last shot for the Raiders offense.
Throw your best play. Call a play that gives you options versus man, versus zone, versus blitz. You only need a couple yards. Somebody's got to win. Usually you focus on a concept that the quarterback has some history with, some comfort with, something that he does well.
On 4th down, quick throw. It was batted down again. Looked like that was tipped as well, and it's incomplete.
Yeah, I think that did get tipped. I think the end man on the line of scrimmage
Might have been Tyrus Wheat who got his hand on there.
I think it was Darrell Johnson, 51.
That's right, fair.
Got to get their hands down. It was one of the reminders. I tell Lincoln Kennedy, I said, Link, you got to get their hands down in the quick game. He'd say, all right. Then he go out and knock somebody on their back.
So Trey Lance going to take a knee. So, Rich, we come into this game, and the headline, of course, Antonio Pierce and the staff said they'd like to make their starter after this game. Gardner Minshew tonight got the start and had 5 series. And as Antonio Pierce told us at halftime, a lot was left out on the field. Aiden O'Connell played well in the third quarter. Did throw a pick six to start the fourth. What are your biggest takeaways for the offense?
I think there were some good individual efforts. I think overall, Antonio Pierce is not going to be pleased with what he saw from the offense or the defense. I think the defense continues to give up some explosives. The run defense hasn't been up to their standard. I think offensively, there's too many missed plays. I think the pick six is not something that Aiden O'Connell wanted to have on his resume tonight. And I just think that, you know, AP was looking for a little bit more out of this group. The good thing is that the starters got a chance to get some quality reps, some good reps on tape, so they can go back and evaluate that first thing tomorrow.
Yeah, deep into the second quarter for many of them, even into the third for a couple as well. Aiden O'Connell there with some conversation with Trey Lance.
That's
Two guys
the end of
who
the game.
played on the first game last year in the preseason. Remember, Trey Lance was battling Sam Darnold last year in San Francisco when they were here.
Now Sam Darnold's going to be the starter in Minnesota week 1 because of the injury to J.J. McCarthy.
Max Crosby played a couple of series to start the game. A lot of the Raiders' defensive starters, particularly the linebackers.
Thì thái rau nhé, để tối nấu canh ấy. Nhưng mà ăn rau canh